We've all had those times when you return home after an exhausting day of work or school, and you're immediately bombarded with a mountain of assignments to do. Just 30 minutes ago, on your way home, you were telling yourself that you're going to whiz through these assignments and finish them as soon as you get home. But when you sit down to actually do them, you realize that this is the last thing you want to be doing right now. So for the next few hours, you go on to sit in bed and binge watch YouTube, and before you know it, it's already too late. When you search up the solution to this problem online, most of the advice you get is to just take a nap, which can work sometimes, but other times it leads to this. There's also the option of going outside and taking a walk. But who has time for that? Why can't we just work whenever we want to without our energy levels getting in the way? Well, apparently it's not that simple. Because every time you try to do this, your body tells you that you just don't have the capacity to work right now. It seems like the only solution is to just give yourself a break and wait for your energy to be restored. Or maybe you could wait for someone to cheer you up, or for the pressure of the deadline to finally motivate you. You could also try making the task more enjoyable so that you have more motivation. No. What if I told you that the signs your body is giving you is just a bunch of false alarms? You see, when you think you're exhausted and your body is done, not only are you not actually done, you're not even halfway done. It is said that in these times when you feel like you've fully exerted yourself, you're actually only about 40% of the way there to your full potential. This is called the 40% rule, and it's a mindset many Navy SEALs and athletes use to maximize their output.
So the 40% rule is all of that. You get to 40%, your brain says, we're done. Let's roll, man. This is starting to get painful. This is uncomfortable. This is the time where you have to gain control back of your mind. It's okay. Let me see if I can go 45%.
Here's the thing. The 40% rule doesn't just apply to physical activities, it applies to mental ones as well. When we experience pain or discomfort on any level, whether it's during a 10-kilometer run or a dreadful studying session, our brain, as a defense mechanism, signals us to stop doing what we're doing and go do the most comfortable thing available. When you come home from a long day of school intending to study for another 2 hours, you are constantly being hit with this very signal. But what if you just ignored this signal? Let me tell you, I originally thought that when I was tired and my brain was telling me to rest, it meant that I had reached my limit. But when I tried ignoring the signal and just doing the work, I did things I never thought was possible.
What happens to your mind is it does this. It says, he's not leaving. So we gotta expand. We gotta grow. We gotta figure this thing out.
I realized that doing the work I'd been dreading all this time is actually not a big deal at all, and that I had just been giving myself excuses to put it off and be lazy. Think about those days when you're completely exhausted and your mind is giving you 1,000 excuses not to do your work. Now, imagine that someone comes up to you, points a gun at your head, and tells you to finish your tasks. Suddenly, you're going to channel every ounce of energy into doing your tasks. And because the human body is designed to work even when tired, you're going to do it all the way to the end. This is the scenario you need to imagine whenever you're tired and refuse to be productive. Next time you get home and sit down to do your tasks, think of it as if someone is holding you at gunpoint. If you still can't get yourself to start, try doing your task for just 10 minutes. No matter how tired or unmotivated you are, just force yourself to sit down and start. It's going to be hard, but once you get through these first 10 minutes, the rest of the work is going to feel easy. We all know that starting the work is the hardest part, so once you gain the momentum from simply starting, you're going to be able to go past what you thought was your limit and unleash your remaining 60%. Some people will say that this is extreme advice, that it's better to let yourself take a break rather than force yourself. But ask yourself, how many times have you actually been able to sustainably take a break as a resource rather than just an excuse to put off the work? Like sure, you can get comfortable in bed if you want to stay average. I know that a lot of you watching this video don't want to be average, and sometimes, if you want to be ahead of everyone else, you have to do things that most people aren't doing. With that being said, there are definitely some tips that can help you be less tired throughout the day so that you can be more productive when you need to get work done. The most obvious example is simply getting enough sleep. If you're watching this video wondering why you're so tired all the time when you're getting like 5 hours of sleep at night, maybe that's the reason. Make sure you're sleeping at least 8 hours and going to bed at the same time every night. Another way to prevent being tired is to start exercising daily. Regular exercise plays a huge role in maintaining energy levels, and while it might seem counterintuitive, doing something as simple as running for 20 minutes a day can actually leave you feeling more energized in the long run. Finally, pay attention to your diet. Ensuring that you're fueling your body with nutritious foods and staying hydrated will increase your energy levels drastically. Also avoid excessive caffeine or sugar intake, as these can lead to energy crashes later on. These are just the 3 core factors when it comes to having a healthy and energized day. And if you aren't mastering these, then it's no wonder that you're so tired all the time. I've seen so many people who claim to think that their sleep, exercise, and diet are perfect, when in reality, they're far from it. So if you're someone who always lacks energy and motivation, make sure you've absolutely mastered these fundamentals first before using the 40% rule. Only after you master them can you try applying this rule, after which you'll start performing at levels you've never reached before.
Went to the pull-up bar and I got like maybe 8 pull-ups, which is an exaggeration. He said, all right, wait 30 seconds, go and do it again. And I went up on the pull-up bar and I did maybe like 3 or 4. He said, all right, wait 30 seconds, I want you to do it again. And I got up on the pull-up bar and I did maybe like one kipping, you know, getting my damn chin over the bar. And I said, all right, well, what's next? He said, well, what's next is we're not leaving here until you do 100 more. We're not.